Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to the AFI project. I have been covering every single movie on AFI's top 100 movies of all time list, everything from Citizen Kane up to Casablanca. Those reviews will be linked in the annotation in the right hand corner if you would like to check those out. But for right now, let's tape up our fists and square up, because we're talking about Raging Bull. This was directed by Martin Scorsese, and it starred Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. It tells the true story of Jake LaMotta, played by De Niro, a very successful middleweight boxer, but a very, very troubled man outside of the ring. And the movie documents that over time, he basically loses everything. Raging Bull is very much a boxing movie. There is no bones about it. But similar to how Warrior is an MMA movie, yes, that sport is heavily involved, but that's not the driving force of the story. With that in mind, though, the boxing scenes in Raging Bull are legitimately great. Martin Scorsese is not really a boxing fan. I was doing my research and I found that he went to several boxing fights at Madison Square Garden to do research, and he found the boxing to be pretty boring, which I just find fascinating, really. But he makes the boxing look really exciting through a combination of the black and white of the movie, along with using slow motion and quick cutting, but the best kind of quick cutting. The highlight of the boxing scenes was the final fight between Jake LaMotta and Sonny Robinson, where the ringside judges just get absolutely covered in blood. Not like a Carrie thing or anything, but so much blood gets on the ropes and on the people. It was like, oh no, that is a lot of blood. This movie is very dark, that I will say. However, this movie was actually supposed to be a lot darker, like far darker. Along with that, and among other things, Jake LaMotta's brother Joey wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. A Martin Scorsese film without Joe Pesci in it, that's just cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. But thankfully, Paul Schrader, who also wrote the screenplay for Taxi Driver, was brought in by Scorsese at the last minute to rewrite the script, and thank God for that. Now, I'll be upfront in saying that I'm not a Robert De Niro fanboy. I respect a lot of his work, but I don't go like, oh, Robert De Niro, he's the best actor ever. I think it's because I grew up in the mid-2000s when a lot of his movies were subpar at best, so maybe my optics are a little different. But De Niro was awesome in this movie. Scorsese does a great job of illustrating that despite the fact that LaMotta is a great boxer, outside of it, he's not a good person. He is no role model, which is not necessarily LaMotta's fault. You can tell in several scenes that he wants to be a good person, but unfortunately, all he knows is that. And because all he knows is the fist, he loses his wife, he loses his kids, and he loses his brother, who, when he left, I was like, no, Joey, you were supposed to be the nice one. And I think that's a perfect place to segue into Joe Pesci in this movie, because he is predictably awesome as Jake LaMotta's brother Joey. This was Pesci's actual big break in terms of movies. He was in a B movie that De Niro saw, and De Niro was like, call that guy, I want him. Pesci was almost done acting. You could argue that if it wasn't for Raging Bull, we wouldn't have gotten to see him in Pesci in movies like Goodfellas and Home Alone. What a terrible world that would have been. I think if I had to have one nitpick about the movie is that Scorsese likes to do a lot of scenes where people just sit in rooms and talk. Now, to be fair, this is done just to move the story along. I am not a rube, I understand this. But a lot of the scenes were just basically Joey and Jake just sitting there and either just making fun of people, or specifically women, and just yelling at each other, with a lot of curse words thrown in there. And again, I'm sure that's how the LaMottas acted in real life, but there were so many of the scenes that I was just sitting there like, oh great, there's yet another scene of Jake LaMotta saying a sexist comment. Do we really have to go over this? Minus that, though, this movie was excellent. At first I was like, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But then the more I thought about it and the more I started writing notes for this video, the more it started to grow on me, and now I really do like it. I still maintain that the original Rocky is the best boxing movie ever made, but this would be a close second, or 1B, depending on what day it is. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Next up on the AFI project, we'll be taking a look at the Golden Age Hollywood musical, Singin' in the Rain. If you like this video, though, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts on Raging Bull in the comment section below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications, so when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.